Kia ora te whānau and welcome back to the Planting Seeds podcast. In this episode, we talk with my good friend, the brother Joe Webb from YOUKNOW Clothing and YOUKNOW Media. And we are very lucky Planting Seeds whānau because this is my second episode with Joe. And although he gets asked all the time to do interviews, he doesn't do too many of them. In this episode, we talk about the growth of YOUKNOW Clothing, from bedroom tees to a media company to YK Move, and the importance of movement, content and community. We also get a glimpse into Joe, the person, and the challenges that he is navigating at the moment. This one is a mixture between entrepreneurship, creativity and heart. So let's get into it. All right, Planting Seeds family, we are rolling and we are back on.
What?
And we've got a good friend, and you know this man. If you don't know his face, you definitely know his brand. And this is our second time running it back. And my good brother Joe, welcome. Welcome back to the show, my G.
Good to be here, bro. Bit of an upgrade since last time.
bro. I'm so glad that you're actually here, because I remember, when I put things out around wanting to get support for the podcast and wanting just to go to that next level and getting sponsorship and things like that. I remember you were the first one who just said, yo, Bolt, we're keen. Didn't know what they looked like, but you came on board. And then we would have like these regular catch-ups. And I remember one particular time I was at Hene Pānia's Nans and we had a video call and I was telling you and Aira about this idea because we had the food trailer and I was like, man, we're going to change it into a podcast studio. And the both of you were like saying, man, it's such a great idea. But at that time, it was an idea.
Yeah.
And now we're having a podcast in the extra studio, G.
And I was just saying before, bro, do as do. And I think good people support good people. And what you're doing, I was saying to the bro Tom before, like, you just get the best out of people, and the way you can talk. And bro, you're a beautiful fella, bro. And like, I don't do many podcasts, but I know that what you're doing here is awesome, and it reaches a lot of people. And I think, just proud of you, if I'm being honest, bro.
Thank you,
bro. This is, I know I was joking before, but this is a massive upgrade, bro. And this is you talked this into fruition. Yeah. A lot of people say stuff to me, like ideas and stuff, but then it never comes to fruition. So coming here and seeing it, bro, I'm super proud of you, brother.
Oh, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. And that feeling's mutual, man. Like from my perspective, just seeing what it is that you're creating and what you've been doing for so long, and just to see where things are now. And it's developed from a clothing brand into something so much more. You're in media now, you're doing movement, and I was part of like YK Move today, and that was the celebration of 31 days of stacking days,
and
bro. So for me going into that space, bro, it just felt like, man, I felt it. I felt what it is that you are doing. And so can you talk a little bit about that, bro? Just more so about we'll start off with today and how we even got there.
With the move, you mean?
Yeah, YK Move.
I think with me, it was always, I always wanted to do activewear. I mean, I grew up playing basketball, and I remember always wanting to be sponsored, bro, by a clothing brand or like an activewear brand. And this might sound a bit cliche, but I couldn't see anyone in New Zealand that I looked up to, like in terms of brands wise, activewear. And I thought, man, imagine if we could create something that was more than a brand, but something that like little kids could connect with. And, there was Nike and Adidas back in the day, but I was like, bro, it's always been part of the plan, bro. But now, bringing it to life, it's so much more than a brand. Like we went in and we called it Move because we didn't want to try to attract like high level athletes. Like it's cool if they want to come along the journey, but for us, the whole kaupapa around it was trying to inspire everyone to move. Like if you go to mahi, instead of taking the lift, just go up the stairs. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not trying to be the big bodybuilder or trying to run 4-minute Ks. I mean, that's great if you can do that.
Yeah. Work towards that, but it's not just that.
Nah. So, starting the brand Move off the umbrella of YOUKNOW Clothing has been pretty beautiful, bro, because, selling hoodies and stuff is cool, but when you get people coming to our walk, run, move clubs and they're saying to me, oh, I've done my first 5K today, or I've lost 20 kgs, or that hits a lot different, bro. I don't get me wrong, I love selling hoodies, awesome, but providing something that's bigger than clothing, I think has been beautiful for us. So shout out to the River Jordan, bro, for coming up with the name Move. Because I think that one word has been a pillar for this whole thing, bro. It's just about moving.
Right, and we were there this morning, and started off with a little bit of running. I've actually been avoiding running because as soon as my heart rate gets up, bro, I actually struggle to breathe because I've had asthma ever since I was like 3 weeks old, and so the last 2 years I've worked really hard to not reach for an inhaler, and I haven't used one. But that doesn't mean to say that I don't get the the side effects of getting my heart rate up. And so it's like I'm breathing through a straw, and so I'm essentially just suffering and struggling when I get to that point. And so recently I've moved away from things that get me into a heart rate, so I'll just lift weights or do low cardio. And so me and Stan started running, and I was like, oh, bro, I'm actually keen to like drop to a walk. And so we dropped to a walk, and then this nanny, bro, just like rolled past us, and she was fully kitted out in YK Move, bro. Like she had the hoodie, she had the socks, and she was just not gunning, but she was like in her own lane. She was running her own race. And isn't that like what it's about, bro? In terms of move, it's not about just always pushing yourself to the absolute limit, but
100%.
Even like what I did, you start off and then you can strip back, but then 100%. You see other people moving at their own pace.
Well, that's the thing. What we really wanted to, I guess, stop the stigma with run clubs, bro. Because I'm a runner, bro, and I love running. But what I've noticed with a lot of these run clubs is that if you can't run a 5-minute pace, you're not meant to be there. And I was like, imagine being a walker or someone that really wants to be part of a community, but because the barrier of entry is too high, I get left out. And I'm like, okay, why don't we change our run clubs to walk, run, move clubs? We've got a walking lane now, we've got a running lane, and we've got a fast running lane or a slow one. So being able to provide that safe space where people can come and just walk as well, I think that's beautiful. Because, bro, imagine like you not being able to run and then, oh, bro, sorry, you can't come. How shit would that feel, bro?
But isn't that what community is? Community isn't everyone in just one way of being. Community is actually quite diverse.
100.
And so having a variety of different people part of the same thing, like that's a thriving community, and everyone feels like a part of something. And that's been your, I guess, mantra or something that has driven you quite a lot is just community. And that's the basis of, YOUKNOW Clothing, like everything going into YOUKNOW Media. And so why is that so huge for you, bro? Like, where did that actually come from?
Well, I think you can't buy community, right? You can buy everything in this world nowadays. But what I've really found, even with starting the morning shift and the PlayOn podcast, is that like we have such a dedicated and beautiful community. And because I think we go into our new ventures with whole heart, we're not there to try and make money. We're not, don't get me wrong, it's amazing if we do, and we'll hopefully get there one day. But we want to try build that beautiful community first. And I think that because we've lent that way, every single like project we've done, it's sort of worked in our favor because we've gone in with a whole heart, not with, okay, in 2 years we need to be an X figure. If that comes, that's beautiful. But if we can go in and try and get a beautiful community and actually try and change people's lives, like the thing with the morning shift, right, is that they're amazing, Brooke, Jordan and Mark, and what they do and the team behind the scenes. But what I think is most beautiful about it is that they're part of people's day now. Do you know what I mean? Like they're actually people turn like that, bro. If we don't have a show up at 5:30 a.m. At 5:31, we've got 1,000 people being like, "Where's the show?" And it's part of their day, and because it's just such a beautiful community they've built, it's like we're part of people's day, bro. Do you know what I mean? Which is crazy to think.
People's day,
yeah, bro. Yeah, good and bad, I guess.
Man, like everyone's seen it from the outset, I suppose. All of these different moving parts, and I'm keen to get into each of them, but what's actually happening inside, bro? Like what are your guys' discussions? And, when we're talking about community or we're talking about brand or we're talking about impact and value, are those the main themes in terms of what it is that you guys are co-creating together under the YOUKNOW umbrella?
Yeah, I just think we're trying to do something a little bit different, bro.
Got YOUKNOW or like new media.
New media. And like, I hate the phrase new media because it gets thrown around a lot. But I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to be content and personality driven first, not media first. So for example, we're not trying to always go after the dollar. We're trying to create a cool, amazing project that people can get behind. And look at Jordan and Brooke, bro. They're just the most unbelievable. They're thriving, bro. And I think it's because we've gone in thinking, how do we create the best content first? You know what I mean? So yeah, the discussions are, we're just trying to be a little bit different. We're just trying to make people smile and take it day by day, to be honest, bro. We haven't got a solid plan. We've got something exciting coming I can't talk about right now, but it's more it's more the content creators driven first business rather than media driven first.
Wow.
If that makes sense. A platform.
You're disrupting a lot of things, bro? In
bro.
terms of traditional media. And
Yeah, trying to, bro.
Yeah. And so is that hard out? Been a few backlashes from those bigger, not so bigger, but like those traditional outlets? Has there been some pushback in that regard?
A little bit, but I think got to block the noise out, eh? Do you know what I mean? Like we've sort of got tunnel vision, and I think only a bit of backlash because I think we're competing with some of these big media companies now, and because we're messing with their bag a little bit, we're getting money from some of the big partners now that we're grateful to have as some of our sponsors. But I think that's when it started really pushing. But we don't do it for that. We just do it for trying to make people smile every day and just try to be something we're like. I always say to everyone, like at the end of the day, if I can look in the mirror and when this is all said and done, and I can say, oh, I made my friends win, they made me win, and I can look in the mirror and be like, bro, I'm a good person. That's all I can really think about, eh? Because I think in business, bro, once you get to a certain stage, and money gets involved, money can mess with a lot of things, eh? But I think because all of our friends are around the table making the decisions together, we're always going to keep each other accountable.
Yeah,
you know?
That's so great. And that's probably, again, thinking about there's you, Joe, but when you're looking around the table, you've got a really awesome friend group.
Yeah.
And you've created that environment, and you not only help each other, but you can also be honest enough and be accountable enough to, I guess, keep each other honest about like where we're actually going and who you actually are and what we're actually trying to do. And so has that been huge in terms of this recent shift in where you guys have been in the recent few years, bro?
For sure. Yeah. It's funny, I've got a little exercise I do, bro, when I let's say Brooke and I having a meeting, or Jordan and I'll go into the meeting, bro, and I'll be like, hey, brother, just want to make it clear. Friend hat off, business hat on.
True.
This isn't personal. And I think going from that to, because I think when you get in business with friends, it's not friends, it's business. So it's really hard to, I guess, separate the two. Mm-hmm. But even that one little exercise, bro, hey, bro, just letting you know, friend hat off, business hat on. Nothing personal. We go have a run bucks, or we have a good conversation, and then we move on. Yeah, it's basically letting them know it's nothing personal. And I think, my biggest thing coming into 2025 for me personally, my goal was to not be Mr. Nice Guy Joe anymore. And what I mean by that is, I used to always take myself, like I used to always put all the pressure on me. So, like, let's say we're going to a conversation, I just want you to be all good, even if I am feeling like shit going out of the conversation. If you feel all good, for me, that's a win. But actually, what I'd end up doing is going home to Aida and just taking it out on her, or just having bad conversations. And my energy was drained, bro.
Yeah.
So going into this year, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to be straight out the gut. Transparency was my word. And then since then, bro, actually Jordan told me to do it. And ever since then, I've just felt free. You know? Even Stan's like, bro, look after yourself. I can see it weighing on you, bro. And I think it actually wasn't fair on my friends, me lying to them. I wasn't trying to lie, but I was like, I'm going to just be like, oh, it's going to be all good.
I'm going to bear it.
Yeah. As long as you're all good, G, I'm sweet. I wouldn't say that, but I'd be thinking it. And I think they could see it weighing on me, and then had that conversation. And bro, I've never felt so free in my life. I was like, bro, I should have was 5 years ago.
So that liberation of just being honest with yourself.
That's it. Yeah.
Because because how does that actually look, bro? Like when it comes out transparently, is it because you're not doing it to hurt the person, You're doing it just to let them know where you're at, and how you're taking it in. And so, do you remember the first conversation you had where you stepped into that transparency, bro? Like, or don't have to say what it was, but do you remember like how it actually played out?
Yeah, I think we were going into a meeting earlier in the year about our goals, and I remember I remember even if I knew I was right, and then someone else would have an idea, I'd see it through, even though I knew my ideas were right and theirs wasn't.
Yeah.
So now I'd be like, actually, bro, like with my wealth of knowledge the last 7 years, that's not going to work. So let's do this.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I think it's been a lot better. And it sounds a bit arrogant, but because of the reps I've taken in Mahi, and I guess people respect me as an entrepreneur now, and they've seen me get the business to where it is. They trust me now, and I think I didn't even believe some of the shit I used to say, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think now it's just like if I have a gut feeling, like Ada's always like, even when we're ordering garments, bro, because we've got a full plan and everything, and like they so basically what a planner does, bro, is that they plan out your whole season. So they'll be like, we need 1,000 black hoodies, 1,000 white hoodies. And I've got that gut feeling like, actually, I think we should get 1,500 black hoodies. But then I used to not say anything. And then we used to not order enough.
Yeah.
And then I used to be like, what the hell? But really, Ada's like, you've got that gut feeling.
You got to say it.
You've got to say it. But I used to not say it because, oh no, it's the planner's job. Like,
yeah,
you know, I'll just take it on the chin. But really, what I'm doing now is I'm putting myself first and then the business last. And now we're not earning the income we should be because of my ego.
Yeah, wow.
Do you know what I mean? So Ada's like, because I remember going out of the meeting, Ada would be like, bro, just say what you feel, bro. And I'm like, you're right. And it's nothing against a plan. It's nothing, anything like that. But it's like, I used to put myself last, bro. Even though I knew I was saying the right thing, bro.
But how good has it been, like, having that kind of person next to you, you know, like Aida, and just giving you that pep talk and,
bro,
you know, finally
she doesn't get the
through.
credit she deserves, bro.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, bro. Like, everything that I do and everything that everyone sees, I ask her first. Every decision I make, I'm like, hey, babe, what do you think?
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't like being in front of the camera. She doesn't like doing content, but she's the brains behind a lot of this, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be anything without her, bro, if I'm being totally honest. Like, she is my rock, G.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that, bro. And it's cool just to, I guess, see your different strengths, you know? You're very good at being at the front and you thrive off being around people, and I'm sure you thrive being on your own as well. And she's that person at the back. She looks after people at the back, making sure everything's turning, but also she's your back.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and I think that's great for, you know, yourself. And I just reflect on, you know, what Hinepania means for me too. And so, you know, the other thing that I want to jump into, bro, you know, take me back to little Joe. You know, take me back to little Joe and like, what were you up to and what was going on for you when you were younger, brother?
I was a sport head, bro. I thought I was going to go NBA, G. I was adamant, bro. I played a lot of high-level basketball. Don't want to name drop, but me and Steve Adams were on the same team for years, and he lived at my house. We won championships, and then I stopped growing.
So you didn't get the height?
Didn't get the height, bro. And then I had a coach by the name of Kenny McFadden who passed away last year.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. He was my rock too, G. He actually taught me, like every morning from when I was about 7 years old, we got up at 6 a.m. and we trained. And at the time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just got up and did it. But what it did, it actually stacked days. It did reps and reps. And now it's taught me consistency. And I guess that's probably why I'm so driven, because of those reps that I did back in the day. So that basketball, yes, I might not be a professional basketball player now, but it's actually taught me a lot more.
The values and the work ethic.
Yeah, so I was a big baller, bro. And then when it went to university, and I said to my old man, I said, because I've always been wanting to make money, bro, my whole life. Always, bro. It's not even like that I want to be that guy with the Ferrari. I've never, like, I don't care, like, really what I have, but I've always just wanted to set myself and my whānau up. And I remember saying to my old man, I was like, Dad, I want to go to university, right, but what's the degree that makes you the most money? And he was like, oh, IT's pretty good. Bro, I didn't even want to do IT. Bro.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, cool. I'll do IT.
I'm going to do it.
But I did a 4-year...
make this shmoney.
Gee, I did a 4-year degree, computer science and infosystems, IT degree. Got it done, bro. And then I ended up making some good money. So I've always been like, I guess, wanting to get ahead in life. Not necessarily want to be like the biggest or flashiest and have the best things, but I've always wanted to...
you had that, to excel, to
bro.
push.
And then... yeah, started, and the rest is history, bro.
Because you're doing IT while printing shirts in your room.
Bro, and I think...
were you studying or were you already like working as an IT?
I was working in IT as a coder.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually funny you bring that up, bro. Because so what I did, I worked in IT, right? So I worked there 9 to 5. And then when started pumping, or even when I just started getting orders. So I worked from 9 to 5. I'd get home. I bought a screen printer and a vinyl cutter. And I'd print my orders from 5 to midnight. I'd pack them, get up and train, go to the post office, drop them off before mahi, and then do 9 to 5. And I'd just go round and round. But a big thing that I want to express to people was that there is nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, G.
Nah.
Because without your 9 to 5, I couldn't have facilitated the rest of my mahi, you know, because that's what still paid the bills. You see people on TikTok now making all this money and be like, 9 to 5s are bad. Like, bro, do your 9 to 5 so that can fund the rest of your life, bro. Because if you leave your 9 to 5, how are you meant to pay your bills, look after your whānau, you know? So, yeah, I hate nowadays people frown upon that 9 to 5, Because you see it so much.
You just had the work ethic though. When you think about, how you said as a basketballer and you had that dream and you just always woke up at 6. So you're so used to just putting in the reps without seeing that instant gratification. You were just in process, and that's like what drives that kind of like process in terms of I'm starting this thing, I'm funding it myself, I've got a few bros helping me, I've got to go and do this mahi. I'm grinding so hard, but like, what was it in those earlier stages that really just kept you going, bro?
Naivety, probably.
Yeah.
Nah, but
have you ever lacked belief, bro?
Never.
Nah,
never. Even I've just, and also there was a beautiful thing about doing it with Stan, doing it with my mates. Like, bro, started out of our flat. When I tell people that, bro, me and Stan were living in the same room, bro. And we were printing together, and like people think, oh, you just got Stan on, bro. He's been my best mate since then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I think a big thing with what I do is I don't like to start things and not finish them though. That's a bit of the psychoness in me.
Is that sort of the gift and a curse kind of
bro.
aspect
sometimes
of yourself?
Sometimes I'm a bit like, okay, I should probably pack it in now. but I'm not gonna. But yeah, I think it's all calculated as well though.
Yeah.
I've got a good support team around me that I ask the questions before I go into any little venture. But yeah, I think, and it might sound silly, bro, but me being naive at the start and just doing it fun with my mates and just carrying it on, and I probably should have packed it in along the way, but I was just so naive, and I like doing stuff with my friends. It sort of turned into a beautiful thing. But it started so organically, like even more organically than I could have even thought for. It was a bunch of mates. We printed some t-shirts. We did random photo shoots. People fucked with it.
Yeah.
And then we just scaled. And straight from day one, it's been community.
Yeah.
It's my mate, Stan was a photographer. Julie Adams was who's my other flatmate. Shout out to Jules. She was my model. Mark Scott, my best mate since I was 5, was in all the photo shoots.
Yeah.
And James Rolliston, like, bro.
I remember those, bro. Yeah, the YOUKNOW in different coloured tees. Like, that's nostalgia. And
bro,
you've kept some of that content, and to bring that up, it's like, man, this is like where it started. That's the first photo shoot, eh?
Yeah, bro, well, think about it. Colorblind guy starting a clothing brand. Like, I could have picked a different industry, but I'm just printing random stuff. But yeah, I guess lucky I was naive because it's turned into a pretty beautiful thing.
Because wasn't there a point too? Because I remember we would have conversations, and it was maybe around maybe a little bit before that. But weren't you working over in Europe as well?
Yeah,
as an IT, and as well as running YOUKNOW online.
Yeah,
like talk about that time too, brother.
The biggest thing was probably the time difference, eh? So like so I went over
because you're main marketeer in New Zealand, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So I went over to the UK, lived in Manchester. I got a mean job over there working in IT, and I at the time was doing a master's in Granada in Spain. So we were hopping back and forth. But so I would do my 9 to 5 mahi in IT in England, and then I'd stay up all night, and bro, I'd be on Zoom and photo shoots, and I got to the point where...
What is the time period from when it started to this period?
Probably 2 years in,
right?
2.5 years in, yeah. And I left, and what I actually did, bro, before I left, I was like, I can't be packing orders in the UK. How am I going to do this? So I approached a lot of screen printers, and I said, if I send you like an order sheet every week, can you order from AS Color and then print in your screen printer and send that out for me? And I'll give you a couple more dollars per package. Because then for me, I don't have to hold stock.
Yeah.
I'm ordering on demand.
Yeah.
And I'm just making money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did that, and that's what really made it scale. And then all I had to focus on was the marketing.
Yeah.
And getting it onto right people's hands and getting them to tag the brand. And I think influencer marketing, without me even trying back then, was really what scaled the brand. And I just had a lot of influential people that were my friends anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Without even being like, oh, he's got followers, I'm going to send it to him.
Nah,
that was
you
my
already
mate.
had. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Was that because of your basketball journey? Like you were already in there basketball, you were quite good already. You had a bit of influence yourself, and so did that help when you got to this thing of like, I've got something to monetize and put out there, and your friends just wanted to support you.
That's it.
And then that become quite natural influencer marketing in a sense.
Yeah, and I didn't even really know the term influencer marketing. I was just doing it. You know what I mean? So,
GG, what do you reckon? Hey.
Yeah. Tag the brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in the UK, and then I remember I got to the point where one week I made more than my IT mahi, and I was like, shit. And I said to babe, we're going to move home, guys. Moved home, and then 6 months later we went into lockdown. Yeah, bro. And then I was like, crap. And then what actually was a bit of a hack was that we were, was considered like a necessity business, or so we could still operate because we were clothing.
Yeah, sure.
So all of our website views doubled, all of our Instagram bang. And we did photo shoots. So we'd send it to everyone and they'd just do photo shoots at home, send us the content. Everyone during COVID's on their phone.
Yeah.
So then it just went even crazier. Yeah, bro, which was a bit of luck. But yeah. And then from there, it just ended up getting bigger and bigger, bro, which is, yeah. But I think the beautiful thing is that every part of the ways my mates have supported me as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Gee,
I always say that, eh?
Bro, it's in there, bro. It's ingrained, brother. But I remember when I came up one time and I was able to do some podcasts in your fella's old warehouse. And the strategy that you were talking to me about then was we're just going all in on content. You know, and you were probably doing it before that, but I remember vividly you were just, man, everything's content, you know, whether it was on TikTok or whatever it was. And what I've noticed even more so is that that's just gotten so much better and better and better since then. The marketing's the stories, the garments, and just there's been so much development in what we get to see as either consumers or supporters of what it is you're doing. And so how did that all unfold in terms of the marketing aspect of YOUKNOW Clothing?
So I think a big thing for us was we were always, I remember when Jordan actually left I said to him, I said, I don't know what we're doing, G, but I'm hiring you. And then he was really a big part of the content play. And if you think about it, nowadays it's all about getting attention, eh? So the more clicks, all I thought about was the more clicks to our social media means the more clicks to our website, the more people buy our stuff. So I thought, okay, if I can invest in the content, without even really thinking, bro, if I can invest in the content and I can get a gun like Jordan to help with the narrate the content and produce it, that's going to mean more people to go to the website, mean more people buy it. Yeah. So I was like, let's go hard here because I've got the clothing stuff sorted. Our supply chain sorted. We've got Joe Swanee, shout out to our first employee. He's got that all sorted. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. I need to focus on how to get as many customers to the website. So we thought, okay, it's all about eyes. It's about creating content. And then Stan, Jordan, and I just went in, bro. Just went in. And then we just got more and more orders, bro. And we just scaled that way. And now, because we've got the resource, we've got, obviously the full clothing side, we've got like 40 people working for us now, which is mental. Gee, I walk into May, I'm like, all these people I got to feed, bro.
Straight up.
So, yeah, I think we've just scaled in the right, and also we've never taken investment.
Is that right, bro?
Ever.
So that's like no loans or no investments?
Nothing, bro. And I was like, I could have, at the early stage, I got offered a lot of money, and I'm just happy I was naive to be like, nah, because also I used to work at a company, I don't want to say their name, I don't want to out them, but basically that company that I worked for in IT had a lot of investors, and I was head of sales, and I remember every month I'd have to do a sales meeting, and all the investors would be like, okay, well, how much money? Like, they're on our ass. Yeah. And I hated that anxiety going to those meetings. And I said, if I ever started my own thing, I'm not taking any investment because I'd rather grow and scale a little bit smaller, but I can do what I want to do. Yeah, but I can do what I can do because no one's on my ass telling me what to do. Yeah. So, now I think it's really paid off. And I think we could have scaled a lot quicker, but I think it's beautiful now because we've got everything. You know what I mean? We don't have to, obviously the boys have all got a cut now, but it's like we don't have to answer to anyone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You are working together. Yeah. And what was that like in terms of the growth in, okay, there's more seats at the table and, if the boys have got a cut in terms of they've got shares in, Yeah. And what was that like for you and Aida just to be like, okay, we have an opportunity here, like do we open it up or like how did that conversation like play out or the thoughts behind bringing more people in?
I think the way I look at it is if anyone's helped me get to a certain point in life, like Stan got us to a certain point, he got obviously given shares. Yeah. Jordan given shares, and now there's probably a bit of exclusive, but Lance Avali's coming into the business. So he's going to help us get to the next level. I think anyone, because I think friends one thing, but this is business, right? And it's really transparent in the fact that if you can help me and I can help you, this is a beautiful thing. You deserve a seat at the table. You know what I mean? So from there, I guess it's real transparent in terms of what I need from you and what you need from me. Because it's a pretty big business now, bro, So it's like it's a lot. Shares are worth a bit of money now. So it's not like it's just like, here you go, bro, cheer. It's like, it's a proper process. So Yeah, I think going back to transparency, like Mr. Nice Guy Joe would have just been like, oh, come and do this. But now it's like a proper plan. Like, I need this, this, and this from you, you know? So yeah, and it's also cool, like being able to give my mates opportunities as well, because I'm never naive in the fact that I wouldn't be here without them.
Without them, yeah.
And I feel like with me not giving them a cut just wouldn't feel right anyway.
Good on you, bro.
You know?
That's so great to, I guess, hear that. And, you know, you're walking into a huge warehouse now, everything's there, and I'm sure you fellas are probably looking at scaling it at some point, but there's 40 people there, bro, and that's probably like the biggest pressure that you probably feel in terms of operating, YOUKNOW Clothing. And like, how do you deal with that pressure, bro, in terms of, I've got this to do, I've got these people to look after? And what goes through your mind, or what kind of pressure do you feel?
Pressure's a funny word, because I don't see it as pressure. I see it as like, I think pressure is a single mum who's got 4 kids and they're trying to get the next meal. That's pressure. I feel like pressure for me is like, yes, there's all these people that rely on me, but it's very calculated in terms of how we spend our money and stuff. But I think, it's hard, because I know there's an obligation that I've got to, show up and be a leader for these people, but I don't look at it as pressure. I see it as a privilege, Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I get to, provide a space where they can come to mahi for me and we can have a common goal. I get anxiety, don't get me wrong,
when you
but I don't think it's pressure, because I think pressure's a funny one, As I said, I don't think that's massive pressure, but I think it's like, it's a privilege for me to be able to provide a space for them to come and work.
Yeah, that's sick, and that's the saying that I've heard plenty of times, is like, pressure is a privilege.
For sure.
And it's that simple reframe, because if we can get caught in that pressure, you just feel bottlenecked in many ways.
Yeah.
And
it is a privilege though, If you think about it. If you've got pressure, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or you're like, especially in business, specifically in business, if it's like you're feeling pressure, it means that you're trying to get to another level, or you're trying to break through to your next level in life.
Yeah.
That's why I look at it like.
And do you think that has there been a cost for like you, bro, in terms of, I guess, taking on so much? We talked about like your gift is having the mindset to explore different things, but then the curse is having to see it through, even if it's not going to work out. And so what are some of the things that you've, I guess, had to push through, or are still working through as like the person that you are now, Baba?
I think I need to learn how to chill out, I've had some health issues recently, and I think that's just, my friends tell me all the time I need to chill out, but I don't know how, bro. It's a curse, Like, even with Aida, I've got a rule that I've got to be off my phone at 8 o'clock every night. But like, my mind just ticks, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know, I need to learn how to just chill out. But even talking with Simon Beard recently, he's like, you can't, bro. You're cut from the same cloth as me. We don't chill. But I just need to work out how to put my health first, because sometimes I just go, and then I'm in bed for 2 days.
Yeah. So is that like what burnout looks like for you?
Bro. Yeah. And I get it hectic.
Can you feel it like coming on?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And so, bro, just to tell you my day. So I'll go train at 6 to 7:30. I'll go to mahi from 8 to 4, 8 to 5. I'll go run or train again from 5 to 6. Have dinner, but then I'm working from 7 to 11. So it's like, I don't stop.
Yeah.
And then I just do it so often that I just burn out. But it's crazy, because I wouldn't change anything, because I've got ahead by doing that.
Yeah.
But I definitely need to look after my health, because I've had some pretty bad complications recently. And
because it's not just like physical health, it's more of the other aspects of like what makes up wellness, and that's like
bro.
rest,
Yeah, bro.
Like that's a huge part of it. And talking with someone like Simon, who's walked a similar path but obviously different, what was that like, just I guess being next to him and you're hearing him saying like, oh bro, you can't turn it off, but that series you done, I'm seeing his infrared sauna, I'm seeing his infrared light bath, I'm seeing his like ice bath. And so does that kind of thing sort of help you be like, okay, maybe that's what I need to explore more, is like alternative ways of looking after your health, bro?
For sure it is. And I think he's a bad example though, bro, because he was in cold chain for 10 years and he just did 24 hours around the clock, and he sold and exited for 600 mil, and now he's looking after himself.
Whereas you're in it,
I'm in it. And
true.
I feel like the way I look at it is that I want to go hard now, so that when I do get to a point where we can sell or whatever, I can then chill. But I think the reality is I've got to fit the recovery and the sleep in now, or else I'm just going to burn out, because a big thing about mahi in business and being a CEO is that you've got to lead other people. So if I'm burnt out, say a day a week, that's a day of me not being able to lead people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I just need to chill out, bro. I just don't know how.
Don't know how,
I
eh?
honestly don't know how, bro.
Yeah.
Even Jordan, he's like, bro, you look after yourself. He's like, but I know you're not gonna.
Yes.
And it's sad, bro. But I just need to. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've been going to some recovery spots and ice bathing and stuff. But
do you think it's just a bit more than that, like than what it is? Just like for your body.
Bro.
Have you been like, fuck it, I'm just going to accept it and just be
Yeah.
like, bro, this is just where things are at for myself?
Yeah, bro.
Because it'll take a radical shift in how you operate and how you think for that to actually be either influenced differently. But as you say, are you afraid of things changing, bro? Like, because of like how, as you said, this is how far it's gotten you.
Yeah.
So is there a bit of like, I actually don't want to let this go because of
100%.
Yeah. So that could be
It's fear of change for sure.
Yeah.
Because we've got to where we are now through my normal
way of being.
Yeah. So what now? I change it, and I'm scared that that's not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna keep going to my maximum potential. That's what my biggest fear is, bro. Not being able to get to my full potential.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Man, so again, that's like that gift and a curse. So that's just driving you to push to these edges, but sometimes you're meeting that edge, eh?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like some things like blow up. And has that been like a common thing that you've actually seen with other people who have like big responsibilities and like have that way of like wanting to push the envelope? Yeah. Is that something you've actually
Burnout's
noticed?
a huge thing, eh? Yeah. Within entrepreneurs, I think. And I think it's funny though, because I know when I'm getting burnt out, but that's when I need to stop, you know? And even our CEO, Corey Niwa, she's like, bro, she knows me so well. She's like, you need to stop, bro. Because it's actually selfish to the rest of us.
Yeah.
Because now you're not here for the few days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just got to learn with it and how to deal with it and then keep moving, bro. But it's a thing that I need to deal with that I'm sort of just trying to be like...
like avoid it, eh?
Bro.
Like, why did you have to come in at this time of my life saying like, come on, bro. I'm just getting started out here.
Gee.
Do you feel like that, bro? Like you're just getting started?
Yeah, bro. I do, bro. And I think because like New Zealand's been a big part of our journey, but like now 40% of our mahi's in Australia.
Yeah, I've seen that. Was that being deliberate? Is that because that's where the market is, or is that just sort of where the next level of growth is?
Next level of growth, bro. Yeah. We've been putting a lot of time and effort over there. We're opening a warehouse over there. We're potentially opening a store. It's in the next 18 months that we can probably announce soon. But yeah, for us to get to the next level, it's just more people over there, bro. Yeah. You know? New Zealand's a beautiful place. It's got 5 million people, but I think we've sort of maxed out what we can do here now. But I wish we could stay here our whole life. But, you know, for the next phase of the business, we've got to sort of hit a different market.
It's all calculated, eh, brother?
Yeah, bro. It's got to be, bro. It's got to be.
Man, it's so nice to actually just see how things are unfolding and, you know, seeing it from my perspective, just seeing it online. It's just so engaging and just want to, you know, obviously be a part of it. And the next moves are already in motion and the feeling of just getting started. And I want to take it back, you know, to like little Joe. And what do you reckon if you were to put yourself back into that seat and like seeing you now, what do you think that the feeling is, or the words would be shared, bro? You know, what do you think that whole scenario would look like?
Like, what would he think of me now?
Yeah, little you, brother.
He'd probably say to chill out. But he'd also...
Even little you telling you to just chill out, bro.
But I think he'd be proud, bro, without sounding like too arrogant. Yeah. I think he'd be proud, and I think, you know, I always thought I was going to be a hooper. I always thought I was going to do something in sport, but I think the conscious decision to pivot and understand that I had that entrepreneurial gift in me and sort of lean towards that, I think he'd be proud of that as well, because I think some people in life are too stubborn in the fact of like, bro, I don't think I understand. I want to be a hooper my whole life, G. And I thought I was going to be that guy, and I was that guy for a long time. Then I didn't end up growing much, and then I guess people caught up with me. Yeah. But then I guess being able to pivot and as I said, lean into those entrepreneurial skills, I think you'd be proud.
Bro, you're catching buckets in some cases, brother. You're still fucking catching buckets, bro.
But also I think he'd be proud of like bringing his homies on the journey too. And I think what I mean, I'm not like, come on boys, like I've got you. It's more like we're doing it together. You know, like we've been able to see. I think that people don't understand, like all my mates are so gifted, bro. And I think what we've done well is understand what their gift is and put it into the business. It's not just like I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
It's more, Jordan, you're a content guy. Like, come help me here.
Yeah.
Stan, you're a content guy. You know what I mean? Thomas Rose, you're a content producer.
Yeah.
Come on, GM. When we've had the amount of resource, it's always been calculated like, come work.
Yeah.
You know? And they're getting paid well. We're getting the value. It's a beautiful little relationship, you know? As long as there's no blurred lines. That's the biggest thing with friends and mahi.
Yeah.
No blurred lines, bro. Like, you're working for me and I'm going to help you get to where you want to get, but there's got to be that common respect. You know, it's not like I'm doing you a favor. It's like, you're coming to work for me. Like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it as well.
Shit, bro, that's so neat. The thing that I want to like bring up, I guess, in this moment, bro, is, you know, there's been like a crisis around, you know, young men and, you know, a lot of challenges that people can have, and not even just exclusive, but I want to like relate it to our young men. And you've walked this path and, you know, you've had that belief from the get. You've had multiple things unfold in your life and you're now very successful, you know, as a young man, and so still a young man, I should say. And like, what do you think the message is that you tell yourself that you feel is important for like young people to hear, bro? Like,
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Talk to your mates. You know, we've got a crazy thing with Tane in New Zealand around mental health and suicide and stuff. And I think it's, you got to have that belief in mahi, but you've also got to have mates that you can talk to as well. And I think people always talk about speaking up, and it's, and I think even with me going with my mental health problems, bro, it's like if I didn't have my mates around me and I didn't go see my therapist, bro, I probably wouldn't be as successful as I am now. Because if you can't fill your own cup, how are you meant to fill others? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just say have that self-belief and talk to your mates, because my mates have got me out of a lot of dark places, especially old Stanley Walker. Yeah. Shout out to Stan, bro. He was there in my darkest time. Same with Jordan, but yeah, especially Stan, bro.
He's Stan is, you know, you. I just couldn't believe when I walked up and I was wearing what I was wearing and I seen the bro, and then you were just like, bro, I forgot you fellas like the same.
You're twins, bro. Like, it's crazy. You're like doppelganger hard.
Well, I actually get asked to farm him like at least once a week, bro. No matter where I am, even if I'm saying yes.
Yeah, bro.
But bro, you know, just, you know, again, having someone like the bro, and, you know, fortunate enough to be close with him too, and, you know, I've had very wholesome chats with JV, and it's great to, I guess, be surrounded by people who actually know you, like they know you as a person, they know your heart, and it's when you're around people who actually know that side of you, they don't have to do too much outside of just like recognizing like, come on, bro, like it's not actually a way of like get out of it, but I know who you are and I'm here for you, and, you know, just a reminder, like just reminding you of what you already know, because sometimes when we're in that low space within our mind,
bro,
we
doubt
forget
yourself.
that. We doubt ourselves, and, you know, we feel like we're unworthy, or we feel like we're not enough because whatever's happening in our life. But having people around us to remind us like, nah, bro, like, you know, you are this person.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, that's right. And you just keep just stacking those days and keep showing up, and then all of a sudden you just feel so much better.
Totally, bro.
You know, and that's the feeling that I think is important, is, having good people around you, but just being resilient enough, or having that grit just to take that step and
100.
just to keep showing up for you.
Yeah, and if you've got good mates around you, that step's a lot easier because you know they've got your back if you fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, and I think people from the outset see all of our content and see that we're mates, but I don't think they understand how close we actually are, bro. You know, and I think it's like a bit of like an industry plant vibe, but I'm like, bro, we were all in the same flat 7 years ago. I remember meeting Jordan for the first time, bro, through my mate Sana. Shout out to Sana. He came to Wellington, Jordan, and he didn't have anywhere to stay. I didn't even know Jordan. I was like, bro, come stay at my house, G. And that's what bonded our friendship. And it's like, we're all best mates, bro. People think, oh yeah, we just got to mahi and turn up in his content, bro. We're all like best mates. Like Brooke Roscoe, I've known since I was 6, bro. He was best friends with my older brother. My parents like fucking basically change his nappies, like, you know what I mean? Like, bro. So yeah.
Bro, talk about this 31 days. We're like, I got 2 more questions, bro, and this is like one of them is like, you've just gone on this mean-ass journey of posting every day with a different person and talking about why they move.
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from? And talk about that process, bro, because it wasn't just like a young interview. You had like, it was a full-on journey. And so, like, can you share a little bit about that, bro?
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. The reason I started doing it, there was two reasons. The first one was that I never prioritize my personal content, and I never so I'm like, I'm gonna commit to myself this month. The whole not Mr. Nice Guy Joe.
Yeah.
I look after myself. But the second part of it was that I think what we've created with YK Move is such a beautiful thing, and I just wanted to inspire people to move. And I think there's a whole connotation around moving that you've got to like be at the CrossFit Games, or you've got to like be this fastest sprinter. But I just wanted to show people, no, moving's actually recovery. Moving's going to the park with your kids and just, you know, pushing them on the swing. Yeah. So my whole thing with that was that I wanted to get different people from different walks of life and show my audience that there's not one way to move. There's not one size fits all. You know what I mean? It's like there's not one way to move. There's only your way to move. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes, like even with the mental health thing, like if you can just get up and move, and there's one thing you do every day and it's moving, it's actually going to set you up for the day, and it might actually get you out of those demons.
Yeah.
And because that's what it does for me, bro. I run because of my head noise. I'm going to be totally honest, bro.
Yeah.
If I've got foggy brain, I go for a run, or if I'm feeling like shit, I go for a run and it clears all my head noise and I'm a different person.
Wow.
You know? So I wanted to do the video with different walks of life and show people that moving is not running a marathon. You know what I mean? It's just
that's whatever it means
whatever
for you.
Whatever it means for you, bro.
Yeah.
And I think out of that, bro, like I finished the month. Shout out Thomas Rose. I just want to say this as well on the podcast. Shout out Thomas Rose, because I was sick for a few other days and he came out with some edits, and he was, if I didn't have him, I wouldn't have finished the series. Right. So a massive shout out to T Rose. But I think what I got out of that move was a sense of purpose, and I'm going to carry it on now. Not every day, but I think being able to show other people's move journeys and how they move actually really got something out of me I didn't know I had, bro. Yeah. It was so cool to be part of their journey. And yeah, just provided me a lot more purpose than just a video. Yeah.
Just want to thank you for that, because I really enjoyed, you know, seeing the different people coming up and familiar faces and people that I didn't even know, but then seeing how they do things. And there was a cool thread that came out, you know, which is exactly what you shared. Like, saw the bro Joey D, he's just swinging a golf club, you know. So my cousin Neps, he's like doing stomping clicks. And so
yeah,
I think it's the meaning that we give what it is that we're doing. It's like, this is how I move and it's all good, rather than, as you say, like being a CrossFit athlete or running a marathon. Like that's the peak of like where you can get to, but we shouldn't let that make us not do anything at all.
The barrier to entry is so much smaller than you think.
And so seeing a variety of that, it was like, okay, that's shaping people's perspective about like how they seeing themselves and what they're doing. And so just mad shout out to you. And it was actually really good to see you do your own personal thing.
Thanks,
and that was mean, because you belong in front of a camera and you're really good at it, bro. Because like, you know, you've done so many different things, and even when you're doing in front of content, you're not even like thinking about how you look, bro. You're just like, fuck, if someone says this, you just do it, bro. You know, like no qualms.
Yeah.
And like I heard the saying that, you know, greatness is on the other side of cringe. Do you ever feel like you have that feeling of like, holy shit, I shouldn't actually do this, but do it anyway?
Totally. Yeah. Because do you know what I think about, bro? If I can inspire one person to do it. Like, did you see me trying to hold my breath with Louis?
Yeah.
God, I don't know, the biggest muppet, G. And Louis, you said that was easy, bro. That's hard. But yeah, all I thought about was, if this can inspire one person to get up and move, bro.
Dang.
You know what I mean? That's and it sounds like so cringe me even saying that, bro. But even going back to YK Move is like the beautiful stories and the messages we get. That's why we do it, bro. You know 100. What I mean?
So you're thinking about them rather than how you see yourself or how other people are looking at you.
Gee, if I can look like an idiot, but I can get you off the couch, I've won, G. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing then, this is going to be our last question, brother, is you're really good at just slipping in. And what I mean by that, bro, it doesn't matter like what culture or what room, it's like you can go in and you can connect. You know, if you're around people, I've heard you just say, uso and toko and brother, or like, you know, like you just really engage hard out in culture and it just fits, bro. You know what I mean? And so like for you, do you even like think about that, bro? Or is it just like connection? And because I've noticed and I'm just like, bro, that's so fucking cool how it's just so natural for you and it feels just so mean that no matter what's going on, you can slip in. you know?
Bro, I honestly haven't thought about that. I think maybe being colorblind and thinking I was brown. But no, I think with basketball, growing up with different cultures and different people, you just learn how to connect. And I think I'm just a people person, bro.
Yeah.
And bro, this sounds cringe, but I don't see different vibes or cultures. I'm just like, these are my people. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter where you're from, G. I just want to connect with you. You're the same though, bro. You know how to connect with everyone. You're even more of a connected than me, bro. I think. But I appreciate you saying that. But I think it's just the way I was brought up. And I think from my old man, G, he's a people person too.
Is he?
He knows how to connect, bro.
Yeah. Mum and dad, hey brother. Hey Joe, thank you, brother. Webby, you're such a awesome follow, bro, and I just appreciate your energy and I appreciate your support and, you know, the journey that you've been on. As you say, it's only the beginning, bro, and it's crazy to think that, because when I would, like, say, have a perspective of little Joe, in many ways, you've arrived, you know, and so I just really hope that a lot of, like, the things that are coming up for you and what's ahead, there's a moment or gap there for you to be able to figure out, like, how can I chill? How can I just relax? How can I just be in the moment? And maybe that would be, although it's fearful, could be the thing that actually takes you into that next space and being able to let go and see how things grow. But that season will come up for you, bro. And I just want to know that not only are your close people there, but just want to know that always here to bounce ideas or whatever it is you need. And so just want to thank you for coming on the show, bro, and just passing it over to you if you have any final words, brother.
Oh, no, bro. Thank you for your kind words. I think I mentioned at the start, but just proud of you, bro. This was an idea. We were on the phone about it. I walk in with a full camera crew in your head. Like, this is, you think you're talking about going to the next level. You've got to that next level. Now I can't wait for what the next level is. I'm actually going to ask you, what is your next level, bro? Finish with that. What is your next, after this, where do you want to be?
Bro, my next level is, you know, being a one-man band for so long, is my next thing is I know I need support, and that's either a team or that's outsourcing, and I don't even know what that looks like, because similar to you, I've just had this identity of, like, fuck, I'm just going to do it all on my own. I'm going to drive this trailer. I'm going to set up the cameras. I'm going to do all the editing. I'm going to do all of the distribution. I'm going to try and figure it out. And so where I've got to now is I've found how far I can go. And I know that I want to go to that next level, because I know there's something good here, bro. I know there's something good in terms of what it is that the Planting Seeds represents, and bringing you on and going a little bit deeper so people are able to learn from the amazing conversations that happen on this table. And so for me, it's just, again, looking at how they can scale, and scale looks like more people listening. Scale looks like me getting more support so that I can just focus on the thing that I'm good at, rather than just
trying to do
spending energy on those things. So that's what the next level looks like for me. And I'm keen on just exploring what that might look like. But that's something that I don't know, because it's a new thing. And so that's it, brother.
Let's talk, bro.
Yeah.
Let's talk, my boy. YOUKNOW Media.
Do it.
But hey, just want to say, honestly, bro, like, proud of you and what you've done, and also the person you are, because I think you forget sometimes. I was saying to Tom before, like, I don't do podcasts, bro, but I know you get the best out of me and I trust you. So thank you for providing a safe space for me to talk, but also to be able to provide a safe space for others to come and talk. So proud of you, bro. And I can't wait for next steps, bro.
Brother, much loves, bro. Thank you so much, G. Let's push.
Bye, boy. Hey.
Mean, brother.